But once you made that comment, I knew you did what you always did, and you mushed the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, I did. So James, let me get this straight. I'm responsible for the Clippers. I'm responsible for the Clippers losing now. Okay, that's me. So if I had that kind of power and I could turn 19-point games around, that'd be wonderful. You know that I didn't wish anybody, nor do I have a habit of doing that anyway. But they were losing their first two games. I think they're going to lose badly tonight. You got LeBron James coming out today calling this one of the biggest games of his life. What do you expect of him? He might go in there and get 20 dunks. It's one of the biggest games of my life. The guy's been in the finals 4 years in a row, and he's telling you this is one of the biggest games of his life tonight. I wouldn't want to be the Knicks.
Just over 30 seconds to play. Anthony against James. Jumper. Got it. Knicks, they go on the win, 95-90.
I didn't wish anybody, nor do I have a habit of doing that anyway. Michigan's 2-4. Who'd they beat?
I think Appalachian State.
All right, come on now. So they beat App State, which is, you know, they shouldn't even be playing. It's a payday. That's just a check. That's what you call a check game. When you get a W, they get a check. That's what that's about. All right, that's a gimme on the schedule. That's a schedule holder. All right, now they can't lose those games. There's no way to lose those games.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked. Appalachian State has stunned the college football world. One of the greatest upsets in sports history.
I didn't wish anybody, nor do I have a habit of doing that anyway. Dickey won't like tonight's conditions. You could take it to I've talked to Dickey about this. He does not like at all if he doesn't have good conditions. 46 and cold, this is not a good night for Dickey with the knuckleball.
Game 2 of the season for the Blue Jays, R.A. Dickey went to the mound, and he was very good. Dickey had a good knuckleball, and Russell Martin didn't have any problems at all catching Dickey tonight.
Under very tough conditions here at Yankee Stadium. It was brutal out there, and I thought R.A. did a great job pitching into the 7th inning using the knuckleball.
I've known Whisenhunt a long time. Mariota is not his type of quarterback.
The Tennessee Titans select Marcus Mariota.
I didn't wish anybody, nor do I have a habit of doing that anyway. I think the Clippers will erase Houston in 6, easy.
And that will do it. One of the most stunning comebacks for a team facing elimination in the history of the NBA.
He's facing a pitcher the Yankees never, ever, you can line ever, lose to. Oh, we know that. Tonight going against Burley, who never, ever, we know Burley pitches fast. We also know one other thing. He never beats the Yankees. Back after this. Offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. All 3 picks. I'm picking offensive linemen. Build that guy a protection. Build him a forward wall. Now. Don't even think of anything else. Build him a forward wall.
The Indianapolis Colts select Philip Dorsett, wide receiver.
I didn't wish anybody, nor do I have a habit of doing that anyway. San Antonio's playing for a 2 seed at New Orleans. They're not going to lose. San Antonio never loses. I mean, they haven't lost them, forever.
Diallo, the drive blocked by who else but Anthony Davis. Pelicans are going to the playoffs. They clinch the 8th spot. Davis goes off a 31-13.
Andy Reid understands how important this game is. Travels. They are a nuts and bolts team. They will put pass rush. They will cover the receivers. They will stop the run, and the Raiders can't run the ball anyway.
Hits the outside right here.
Hey, Willie, set the edge.
Yeah, that's the big thing with the Chiefs. You got to be able to set the edge. And they got good linebackers. You should not let a guy like this go on the outside.
First rushing touchdown allowed by that Chiefs defense this season. Second quarter, it would get even worse. Coming from the 10.
Not from the 10, Dan.
Latavius Murray getting loose, fellas.
One thing you pointed out, Heath, in the green room, that's Barry that can't catch Murray.
They will set up their offense with their defense a lot, and my feeling is game's a rout.
Win, a huge win for the Oakland Raiders.
Cardell Jones is going to announce.
Yeah, and if a guy holds a press conference, he holds a press conference to come out. He never holds a press conference to go back to college.
Very simple. You know, after talking over my family, my friends, my coaching staff, I'm going to return next year for school.
I didn't wish anybody, nor do I have a habit of doing that anyway. I do not think they can keep that game close tonight. I think that, number one, it's not a vintage Stanford team as it has been in recent years. And everyone's going to say, how can you give Stanford 10 points at home? And I think you're going to find out why they gave them 10 points tonight, because Oregon is going to be too tough to handle.
Oregon scoreless in the first half for the first time in 55 games.
And Oregon has had this circled for a long time, and I hate to say it, but I think this is a 3-score game tonight. I think Oregon will beat them by 3 scores. Oregon will win with a big second half. 37-18, 19, 37-19.
Wow, so you don't think Stanford will out physical Oregon in the
not tonight.
In the least bit?
Not tonight. I think I tell you why. I think Stanford's not going to be able to run the ball on Oregon, and
Stanford controlled the ball for more than 42 and a half minutes, and they come out with a 26-20 victory.
Now, here is why, as I told you, I would not have done this. Mejia in, first batter doubles to deep right center field off Mejia. Carpenter doubles. Next batter gets on, you've turned what would have been a 1-2-3 ninth into a 3-ring circus. Now he hits Jay. So he has given up a double, and he's given up a hit by batter. So now you got to get the bullpen up. And now you are maybe a bunt and a base hit away from this being an extra inning game, when I'm guaranteeing you, I would have bet my house that there is not a chance Cologne would have given up a run in the 9th inning. The guy had pitched in the 80s. I'll give you the exact pitch count if you want it. I think it was 82. It might have been 84. I'm not sure.
86.
86, okay. He pitched 86 pitches. 86 pitches. He had not allowed a run or had a runner as far as second base since the first inning. He did not walk a batter. He had given up 3 singles since the first inning. He at one point had retired 13 batters in a row. You went to the bullpen, and you heard it as a first guest, folks. I would not have done this. You need this win desperately. This guy was dealing. Now you have Matt Holliday up. If he hits the ball on the upper deck, Terry might as well just go in the shower with his uniform on. Okay? Keep going. Because this would be the worst managing job you've ever seen. And you saw me first guess this, folks. I told you right from the start I would have pitched Cologne in the 9th inning. Now, normally I'm not against bringing your closer in, but this is not a tired guy. This guy had thrown 86 pitches, and he was dealing. He was dealing. I cannot believe he took him out of the game. And you know what? If they lose, the first thing I do if I'm saying Terry Collins, I run to Cologne and beg him to tell the media that he asked out of the game. He hadn't been in trouble once. He hadn't walked a batter. Now you get double, hit by pitch, and Matt Holliday's up with no out in the 9th inning.
Just into a double play.
Matt Holliday hit into a double play? That's
yes.
Perfect. Okay. I'm watching it. I got it right here, Chris. I got it right here in front of me. So you don't have to keep telling me what happens. I can see it. Can you believe San Antonio's going to go from where they were to the 2? They'll get Dallas in the first round. So you're going to wind up, I believe, with Golden State against Oklahoma City, San Antonio against Dallas. You're going to get the Clippers will get the Grizzlies, and you will have Portland and Houston. That's what it looks like.
Look at it. Forget it. It's over. Take it out. It's all over. Dan, let's go. That's it, Kryptonite. Come on, Kryptonite. You can win this race. Come on, Kryptonite. Come on, number 1. Hang in there. Come on, number 1. Come on. We've been mushed.
Do you like Nyquist to win this thing tomorrow, or do you you don't?
But I mean, it is an election year, and it's going to be interesting because there's going to be two people with a lot of New York roots because of Hillary and Trump when they run, and Trump will get the nomination, which a lot of people didn't think was possible. He will get the nomination, I told you a while ago, I thought Trump would get the nomination. And he is a serious threat to win the election. And people who dismiss him because his negatives are high or anything, they're missing the boat.
I know we got a sports station here, but Donald Trump, I can't believe the news today.
Oh, that he's running for president?
Yeah.
Well, listen.
You knew that was happening?
No, I saw it today. I mean, listen, I know that Donald Trump's been talking about it a lot. I saw it today. He gave a speech down on Wall Street. And you know what? The presidency. Now, let's be serious. I think Donald likes to do this.
Does he have a shot?
No, he doesn't. He really, for him, he gets in there, and I think it's great for him and great for his brand and great for his business. He gets a tremendous amount of attention. He speaks about things he wants to speak about. But I think the way the system works and the way you almost have to be a professional politician to get the nomination.
Cruz and Kasich should get out. I think Kasich probably will because I think he's broke. Cruz can stay in. He has the money, and he's probably obstinate enough, and he hates Trump enough to stay in. He's got no path to anything, and he's wasting his time, but I think he probably will stay in. I don't think he'll leave, but he'll probably stay until California.
We are suspending our campaign.
Who could move up that high this year is the Cal quarterback. Goff is the number one guy. The number two guy is Cook at Michigan State. Those are the two highest ranked prospects right now.
Wouldn't it be pro-ready, though, Mike?
Well, yeah. They'll be first round. They won't be Andrew Luck, but they'll be first round draft picks. I mean, just like, all these other quarterbacks are. Will there be a guy picked number one in the draft? No. The number one draft pick next year will not be a quarterback.
With the first pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff, quarterback, California.
Who's a terrific third down guy.
I don't think Elliott's going to be there for them to take, frankly, Mike.
Oh, well, listen, Elliott might not be, or he might be. I can't tell because it's such a hard pick to fathom one way or the other. Because, I've seen people who have him going for the Cowboys, which I think only happens if Ramsey's off the board, because everything I've heard, and from people I trust, is that the Cowboys are taking Ramsey if he's available.
The Dallas Cowboys select Ezekiel Elliott, running back, Ohio State.
Yeah, Mike, I listened to the show on Sunday, too, and you made a bold statement that Marvin Lewis should be fired. Just a quick comment.
I never once said Marvin Lewis should be fired.
Oh, I thought you said that.
No, never. No, never.
Okay.
I never called for Marvin Lewis to be fired, ever, no. Listen, the Bengals were so far out of control, and if I were the Bengals, I'd fire Marvin Lewis. You know why? Because he can't control his own team.
I heard you tell a caller, if I'm not mistaken, the other day that Fitz threw more touchdown passes than Drew Brees. I actually have the statistics in front of me. Not quite.
I never said that. I never said that.
They had this totally different plan for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think that if Geno didn't get hurt, he was just going to end up being a Matt Hasselbeck type.
If I ask you how many guys had better years, I think you might be very surprised at some of the guys who didn't. You think Drew Brees had better numbers than he did last year? He'd be wrong. He threw more touchdown passes than Drew Brees.
Masters.
Yeah.
Mickelson, he's 5 over par.
6.
You think he's going to make the cut?
6.
Oh, he's 6 now.
Yeah, he is going to make the cut. Yes, he will make the cut. Oh, no. He just doubled again. He just doubled number 16. So now he's on the outside looking in. Wow, he doubled 16? Did he hit the ball in the water, Amon? See if you can see that. Did he hit the ball in the water on 16?
Mike, you're paying JPP. The guy has one hand.
I guarantee you that's not a guaranteed contract. Oh, but I guarantee you the money's not guaranteed.
That thing is a weapon.
So the Giants, Giants reportedly now, JPP got a 1-year deal here, $10.5 million of which almost all of it is guaranteed. Oh, let's be honest. You're going to get Syracuse, Michigan State. You're going to have a heck of a game to start off your Sunday. Anytime Izzo has been seeded, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, he has never lost in the first round in the history of the tournament. That's 16 times. So he has, anytime he's been above a 6, he has won every single time in the first round. And he never gets beat as a 3. He never gets beat as a 4. He never got beat as a 5. So you expect them to win their game against Middle Tennessee.
That's it. The Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee, a 15 seed, has won it, and they are moving on.
So you're talking about the Wonderlic test?
Yeah, exactly. The
it
one
can be given to. It can be given. It could be. He got a what on it?
Fitzpatrick got a 48. I think.
No. 40 is. He didn't get a 48. 40 is a perfect score. So I don't know. He didn't get a 48. 48's I believe 40 is a perfect score on the Wonderlic. So I don't know what test you're alluding to. He didn't get a 40 on the
Wonderlic.
Well, the Wonderlic, that wasn't his score. His grade wasn't 48. I can tell you that right now, because 48 would be either 40 or 50 is the max score. I got to find out which one it is. It doesn't go above 50. He got a 48 or 50. I told you yesterday that the Texans were going hard after Osweiler, and they did. Evidently, they landed him.
My question is, if Elway's going to bring back this defense, shouldn't Payton come back for one more year?
You can take it to the bank that Brock Osweiler will be their quarterback next year.
They're not terrible the way the Braves are terrible.
No, the Braves might have the worst team since the '62 Mets. They changed 7 guys yesterday. I don't think they could beat the Mets if they played them for a month. And Bonds' year, the year he had, you guys can tell me what year it was. The year he had 220 walks, so 223 walks. They got to a point there where they were walking him regularly with the bases loaded. It wasn't like a rare occurrence. They were doing it often. Basically, we're not giving up 4 runs. We're giving up 1 run. I've never seen anything that approached that, nor has anybody else. I mean, stuff we have never. Babe Ruth wasn't treated that way. Nobody. I saw teams walking Bonds with the bases loaded with regularity. John in the Bronx, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, you keep saying Barry Bonds was walked many times with the bases loaded.
He was.
He's only walked once with the bases loaded.
That's not true. That's not true.
You can look it up. Have Monzo look it up.
That is not true.
Barry Bonds was walked one time with the bases loaded by Buck Showalter.
He had 85. He had 80. Listen, Willie McCovey was walked more than that with the bases loaded. Mike in New Haven, what's up, Mike?
Okay. You keep saying, before I get to my Yankee point, that Bonds was regularly walked intentionally with the bases loaded.
No, he wasn't regularly walked. I was making it. Listen, I was stressing it, but the man got 120 intentional passes. You don't think the year was special, Mike?
I understand.
How many players got 120 intentional walks in a season?
I understand.
How many players do you know in history of baseball ever got 50 intentional walks in a season?
I'm saying he was only walked.
Again, I know how many times he was walked. You know what, Mike? You annoy me. Goodbye. Milford, I understand he was not walked a lot with the bases loaded. I was being dramatic. My God, you guys are so literal about stuff. It's unbelievable. I was making a point about his season. So I said he was walked more than once with the bases loaded, and he was only walked this many times. Who cares? You guys, you know what? You're nerds. That's what you are. I mean, it's ridiculous. The man got 120 intentional passes. The guy had an on-base percentage of .609. Do you understand the magnitude of his season? That's the point.
All right.
And just to clear this up so that no one else calls with it and gets yelled at, and I said the other day when I was illustrating Bonds' incredible seasons that he was walked in multiple times that year with the bases loaded. He was not. He was only walked once with the bases loaded. There have only been 6 times in baseball history, someone sent it to me, where a guy's been walked with the bases loaded. The only other modern player is Josh Hamilton, and he was only walked with the bases loaded once. I understand he was not walked a lot with the bases loaded. I was being dramatic. My God. They got to a point there where they were walking him regularly with the bases loaded. It wasn't like a rare occurrence. They were doing it often. I understand he was not walked a lot with the bases loaded. I was being dramatic. My God. They got to a point there where they were walking him regularly with the bases loaded. It wasn't like a rare occurrence. They were doing it often.